Kurt, the West Indies are out of the T20 tournament. And I think that the West Indies will be pulling Australia down with them.
No, more like South Africa.
Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
Greetings, Sports DTM fans, and welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle, your channel of undiluted sports content. The West Indies, yes, the West Indies will take on Australia in their 5th match of the T20 International World Cup competition. And the analysts are here to give their prediction review of this matchup. Every time the West Indies play, I know it's going to be a rough day for us, but they played Australia in the last match, and some good stats that I can read out on head-to-head, both they've played 16 matches between them. West Indies, well, Australia has won 6, West Indies 10, right? That's probably where the good stats end. But Adrian, Australia seems like West Indies beating stick, coming up against each other in their 5th and final. Well, I don't know if it's the final one for Australia.
Correct. The pressure is now off the West Indies, and it's all about playing for pride. Somebody is going to go out. The West Indies is already out, and we feel that the West Indies is going to want to pull Australia out of the tournament. I mean, but seriously, the West Indies, I think recently in the Caribbean would have beaten the Australians, what, 4-1 in the T20
yes.
matches. And as such, they would have been looking forward to playing the Australians and really beating them. I think they may have been looking at Australia before they thought that they were going to play against Sri Lanka, because we're sure if they thought about it properly, they would have been up for that game. But that's all through the window. And similar to Sri Lanka, West Indies had to guard their pride. They want to try to get themselves in the top 8 so that they can qualify for the next tournament easily. And they also want to show the West Indian fans that they didn't just pay money to go into the UAE to look at all the beautiful buildings out there and all the fancy commerce, but they actually went there to play some cricket, to win some matches, and to make the Caribbean people proud. I expect that the West Indies will want to go out with a bang.
Before you come in, Ray, man, let me just share that the head-to-head so that people don't think we're making it up. Right? So they both played 16 matches. West Indies winning 10 as Australia 6. Minimum run score against Australia by the West Indies 102, so we won't see a 55 again. And the minimum run score by Australia against the West Indies 97. I just wanted to share that with the fans so that they know when I make up no stats and Australia is really West Indies beating stick. Everyone.
Well, you see, I hear you guys. I hear Adrian. The truth is, we can just close the chapter and just move on. It makes sense that if we fall outside of the Super 12, we play in the other little build-up and get the proper warm-up we deserve. Because I almost feel like the warm-up was too short. Clearly, West Indies plays an entire tournament in warm-up mode. And so it makes sense you play more matches before the real thing starts. So it helps with the warm-up. Plus, you have younger guys facing it, so it would get them in a proper momentum. I mean, I understand in this scenario, given that you have this average age, what it is, and older players, the less game, the better. You know, you don't run and pull up a muscle and get injured and stuff like that. But you said them bring Australia out. I almost think South Africa going to feel it because they're clearly going to lose to Australia. Australia has something to play for. And
really?
That's what it is.
Wait, how long does it take to warm up a car?
How long it take for a warm up an old car?
Old car or new car.
It's not a Ferrari, you know. All right? It's not a Ferrari.
It's an old Ferrari.
Oh, Lord.
That's you need a mechanic on standby.
Come on.
Remember them carburetor there and all them something and them wind up engine. It's not that old, sorry. It's not that old.
But we would expect that the West Indies will play for pride at least. And this final match, they have played 4 matches so far. They have lost 3 and winning 1. And is out of the competition. Australia, on the other hand, has a chance or opportunity of making it to the semi-finals. So Australia will also try to come hard. So we expect West Indies to play for pride. So having established that they're going to play for pride, or that we're asking them to play for pride, Raymond, what is there anything that they need to do differently?
We're begging them to play for pride. We're begging them. I can't even imagine what they can do differently. I really can't. Because see them win the toss. We've been begging them to win the toss. They win the toss, and that was the only thing them win that day, the toss. Because everything just went downhill. I really don't know what they can do differently. Believe me. Just better feeling, better positioning and stuff like that. And if you see a bowler being super expensive, it's not that you're gonna probably damage him pride or anything, but rotate them. Pretty much move to somebody who's less expensive. If the worst can happen is that everybody expensive then. That's the worst can happen. But yeah, that's rotate it as best as possible.
So yeah, we're asking them to run more. But Adrian, you always talk about the age of the team. There are some players that I'm sure this will be their last T20 international for the West Indies. Should I call names? Universe Bosses 42. DJ Bravo, I think he has announced his.
He has announced. I'm not so sure how the Universe Boss has not done likewise.
Yeah. But
is
it that he announced that he's retired after the game that ended, so he will be available for Australia game? Or after Australia game?
After the tournament. After the tournament, you have the captain who is mid-30s, Simmons, Rampal, closer to 40 than 30, these players. Is this now a time for a changing of the guards?
Yeah, most definitely. Kurt, you're talking about, we call them all, at least 4 of those players are on the wrong side of 30, right? You're talking about a 42-year-old Gayle, you're talking about a 38-year-old DJ Bravo, 37 Rampal, or strike bowler who apparently looked to be at strike. You had Lendl Simmons, and we can go on. We're not even touching the captain because, I mean, was atrocious as well. But it is hope that there are a couple of youngsters also in this squad that can be utilized. By youngster David O'Shane Thomas can't get a look in, and you carry him there. There is Cottrell, the bowler, he's also there. There's Andre Fletcher, the batsman. So, again, there are opportunities for others. Probably Andre Russell needs a rest. Probably Chris Gayle needs a rest, but it would be sad to see him go out on this low, but it could get worse. So yeah.
Raymond, I hear him talking about making changes, but certainly Christopher Gayle playing in his last international T20. I'm not calling any retirement. Chris Gayle has not announced his retirement, fans, but Chris Gayle playing possibly his last international T20 for the West Indies. You would want to see him go to that bang.
Yeah, of course. In fact, I want Chris Gayle to actually say to the coach where he wants to start. You know, if he wants be the first batsman or wherever, so that him can come out with a bang, you know. But I don't know. I don't know what will happen. Believe me, this is I really hope. I was hoping from the warm up, and now on to the final game, and there's no explosion. But I'm really hoping. I hope that it works out for him and match probably. You know, we'll not be too greedy. You know, even 45 would be good. Half a century too, even would be good, Chris.
Couple sixes at least.
If you want to run between wickets, that's all right. But 50 runs, I really want.
at least clear the boundary 3 times.
Yeah.
But Adrian, the Australian who will be their opponent in the final game, has an opportunity to make the semi-finals if they maintain the positive run rate and hope that England don't lose badly to South Africa. Or that South Africa lose to England, then they'll be better off. But Australia also has a very old team, and they have some big names, household names, the David Warner, Finch, Maxwell, Smith. But who you think are going to be that game changer for Australia? We know the West Indies always have issues facing spinners, and Zampa, who had an excellent game in the previous match for Australia, 5 for 19 or 4 overs, his best international T20 bowling record. So you think he will be just as dangerous against the West Indies?
Yeah, definitely. So we saw Azaranga doing really, really well against the West Indies.
And enjoying it too.
And enjoying it, have a bright smile on his face. You know, it was just quite something to behold. But Zampa is also another excellent spin bowler, and as such, he's expected to give the West Indian bowlers batsmen a hard time. I think he's joined along with Madaranga on 10 wickets for the tournament so far. Both of them going really, really well. But the Australians, even though they have old players, David Warner knows how to set up his team. They still look very lively. They handled their business against Bangladesh on Thursday, and they looked a team that was excited to go. They looked like they wanted to stay in the tournament, while the West Indies seemed to have been resigned that they were out of the tournament before the matches even started. So Australia has the edge going in, but the West Indies will want to grab them by the heel and say, "Oh, we wanted to follow." So,
Herman, who will be that game changer for Australia? We watch them play. They have been running hot and cold, even though they have won 3 of their 4 matches. They have not looked the Australia of old. They are not the world beater. They are not. Them just did it.
So I'm expecting Finch and Agar to put up some serious batting. I mean, you guys already mentioned the bowler. You know what's that like with our batsmen facing spinners like that. So I'm expecting Finch to really put us, you know, to task and have us chasing all over the field. And that, you know, Gertie, once somebody have you chasing all over the field, especially if them end up a bat first, you can be demotivated. And then when it comes on to you batting now, you probably have less energy. Because remember, the age factor is always on the table. So you just can't imagine what would end up happening. But Ashton Finch, them people mean business. And I said, you already mentioned the ball, as I said before.
Would you make any changes to the West Indies team that lost to Sri Lanka?
No. Live by the gun, you die by it. That's pretty much it. I mean, the tournament is over. It's on to probably another T20 in December, Pakistan. That's it really for me. Hopefully, Chris Gayle. Maybe I might put in Simmons. I make he also go with a bang. I mean, everybody go with a bang as best as possible. No, I make Simmons go, and they all out with a bang. That's
Adrian, you can pick your own team, you know.
I'd love to do that before the tournament started, but hey.
But fans, West Indies failed miserably at defending their T20 championship, and they will face Australia in their final group Super 12 match, and we want them to go out with a bang. There are a few players who are the better side of 30, and of course, these are legends of T20 cricket. We're talking about the Dwayne Bravo, who have over 500 wickets in T20. Karen Pollard, who play more than 500 T20 matches. And I mean, these things they are not normal players. Chris Gayle, the most centuries, the most runs, universe boss, him lead the league in every league all over the world. And these are players who have represented the West Indies and themselves and their countries well. And they will face Australia in their last match. And we want them to go out with a bang, score 500 runs in the T20 match, set a record, do something so that your legacy can live on, even despite the poor performances so far. Fans, we just want to hear from you. What's your thoughts? Who you think are going to win? But me never ask on that. Who you think are going to win? Who are going to be the game changer? Leave all those comments in the comment section below, fans. And always remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. And to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell all of them friends to come and join the Sports DTM family. This has been another episode of Sports Down the Middle. Be blessed.